Hey, Shalom, this Daniel ben YASHAREL. All praise and glory goes to the Most High Yah. The Most High Yah is one, and there's no other gods before him or after him, no matter what. All praises and glory goes to the YAHUAH, the ALOHIM of hosts, the Holy of Holy. So, we've been lied to. Well, I'm not talking about the ones that, let me invite some people in. I'm not talking about the ones that already been in this truth, that study the scriptures effectively like they supposed to, but the ones that still kept holding on to the same beliefs when you just got out, when you left the camps alone. Sometimes you still hold on to a little bit of those things, but Israel, you've been lied to. You've been lied to. And I'm just going to bring out concerning Babylon, the confusion, that old great city Babylon. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about that. For what you heard growing up in this truth, you heard that, my bad, it's kind of a cold, since it's cold in here. You heard that Babylon is America. You heard that we're going to slay the oppressors, his sons, Satan's sons, Lucifer's sons, and all this other stuff. You heard this mess, right? Prepare slaughter for his children. You heard that right. Remember, prepare slaughter for his children. The old good One West saying, prepare slaughter for his children. America is Babylon type BS that we've been hearing over and over and over and over again. You've been lied to. You've been lied to. Shalom Tezekiah, Shalom Jarrell Battle. A lot of Hebrews are just repackaged Christians. Exactly. Shalom, people. Shalom. Let me go ahead and bring it out to you. I'm going to go to Isaiah. I made it Isaiah. I've been reading the Bible in chronological order so far. And I'm going to start at Isaiah. Let you know Isaiah chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10, 11, let's see. Eleven, 12. Isaiah chapter 7 verses Isaiah chapter 7 through 12 is one big continuation. It's one big continuation. I just got done reading the whole thing so far. I ain't finished the whole book of Isaiah yet. I stopped at chapter 15. But what I seen so far, boy, my mind blew. Man, I keep telling y'all, read this Bible from beginning to end like you're supposed to. So I'm going to go ahead and bust out this lie. I'm trying to remove my sticky notes. I want to go ahead and bust out this lie. So if you want to be with me, if you want to listen to this real quick, I'm going to read about 2 chapters. I'm going to read 2 chapters, right? I'm going to read 2 chapters. I'm going to read 13 and 14. I'm going to read chapters 13 and 14 in Isaiah, right? They said that the white people is the sons of Lucifer. They said America is Babylon. That's what they said, right? But after just reading this in straight context, from reading from 1 Kings and 2 Kings and leading up to Isaiah, boy, you've been lied to. Your belief system, everything you so-called say, what you think gonna happen, you've been lied to. Most of the stuff already happened. So I'm gonna start at chapter 13. It's gonna be funny. You remember that scripture about 7 women is gonna take hold of 1 man? Oh, did that already happen? I believe so. But check this out. This is chapter 13 in Isaiah. The title of this is The Burden of Babylon. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Context. This happened during the time of Isaiah. Salakia. Camera froze up. But here go verse 2. Pay close attention. If you got your scriptures, turn to Isaiah chapter 13. This is very important. He says, set ye up an ensign upon the high mountain. Lift up the voice unto them. Wave the hand that they may go unto the gates of the nobles. Remember, this is concerning Babylon. I have commanded my consecrated ones, Levites. Yea, I have called my mighty ones for my anger. Who is that? For his anger. We know that now we see right here, it's the burden of the Most High. It's the burden of Babylon. And the Most High called his mighty ones for his anger. Context. Remember, keep that in mind. Who's his mighty ones? All right. And it says, even my proudly exalted ones. Hark, a tumult in the mountains, like as of a great people. Hark, the uproar of the kingdoms. The uproar of the kingdoms of the nations gathered together. YAHUAH of hosts mustered it. The host of the battle. Verse 5. They come from a far country. Who come from a far country? We're going to see. From the end of the heaven, even YAHUAH and the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole earth. But what part of the earth? Is it really the whole entire earth, or a certain landmass? You're going to see. How ye for YAHUAH, for the day, remember, for the day of YAHUAH is at hand. The day of YAHUAH is at hand. As destruction from the Almighty shall come, therefore shall all hands be slack, and every heart of man shall melt, and they shall be affrighted. Did this already happen, or is this in the future? We're going to see. And they shall be affrighted. Pains and throes shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman in travel. And the great day of YAHUAH is going to be mighty pain. And they're going to have the same pain as a woman giving birth. That's what the Most High describing the pain too. And they shall take aghast one to another. They shall look aghast one another. Their faces shall be faces of flames. Talk about how their face is going to melt away. Behold, Salakia. But it says, behold, the day of YAHUAH cometh, cruel and full of wrath and fierce anger. So is America another form of Egypt? I'm going to have to see. But Babylon is not America, and it's not a spiritual Babylon either. And it says, to make the earth desolate. Now I'm going to start back over. It says, behold, the day of YAHUAH cometh, cruel and full of wrath and fierce of anger, to make the earth a desolation, to destroy the sinners thereof out of it. When? For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth. Remember, this is the burden of Babylon. So this is concerning Babylon. I got ISR. I got one right here. I got one right here. But I like reading from the 1917. But it says the sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will visit upon the world their evil, and upon the wicked their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the tyrants. I will make man rare than fine gold, even man than pure gold of an Ophir. Verse 13 in Isaiah chapter 13. Therefore, I will make the heavens to tremble. Remember, burden of Babylon. And the earth shall be shaken of her place. For the wrath of the Most High of hosts and for the day of his fierce anger. And it shall come to pass that as the chased gazelle, and as sheep that no man gathered, they shall turn every man to his own place. Every man is going to go back to his border. And shall flee every man to his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through. Every one that is caught shall fall by the sword. Their babies also should be dashed in pieces before their eyes. And their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. I thought Israel was doing this. I thought Israel the one was going to dash people in pieces. I thought Israel was the one's going to dash these babies in pieces. Get the white folks' babies and dash them in pieces. I thought Israel was going to do that. I've been reading so far, I ain't seen nothing about Israel doing this. You lying. You IUIC, One West, all you people, you're liars. You're liars. Because the Most High about to reveal who's going to do it. He's about to reveal, in verse 5, he said, "Hail ye, for the day of Yahuwah at stand, and the destruction from the Almighty shall be." Hold on, where that part at? Where that part at? Where it says his anger. His anger. Oh yeah, this the verse. It said, "Ye, yeah, I have called my mighty ones for my anger. I have called my mighty ones for my anger." Who's his mighty ones? You thought that was Israel? You thought that was Israel doing this? Let me show you. Verse 17. This is the one who's doing it. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes, Persia. But you said this was Israelites bashing the babies, destroying white people. You said this was Israel, IUIC, ISUPK, all One West Camps. You said this was Israel. Liars, man. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, who shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they shall not delight in it. And their bows shall dash." And it says, "And their bows shall dash the young men in pieces." But I thought that was Israel. Liars. "And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb." But I thought that was Israel. "Their eyes shall not spare children." Now here we go. I thought they said it was America. No. Did Persia come over here and destroy America? Babylon is not America. And it says in Babylon, here go the next verse, verse 19, Isaiah chapter 13. And it says, "Behold, the glory of the kingdom, the beauty of the Chaldeans." Where's the Chaldeans? Did they say in the spiritual Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms? Did they say the spiritual Babylon, or did it say Babylon? It says in Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms and the beauty of the Chaldeans' pride. Did it say the spiritual Chaldeans, or did it say Chaldeans? Lying. False prophets, twisting the name, twisting the words of Yah, what he already declared, to try to fit your fantasy of something that already happened. You would have known that if you read the book of Kings. And it says, "The beauty of the Chaldeans' pride shall be as when ALOHIM overthrows Sodom and Gomorrah." Verse 20, "It should never be inhabited." It should never be inhabited. The Most High just said Babylon should never be inhabited. Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch their tent there. Why would the Most High talk about Arabians in America? He just said, neither shall the Arabian pitch their tent there. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. What shepherds do we have here? Where's the sheep flocks here? Where's the sheep flocks in America? Where's the shepherds in America? But wildcats shall lie there. America don't got wildcats. America don't got lions. America don't got tigers. And their houses shall be filled with ferrets and ostriches. I can't really say that. The bird and ostriches shall dwell there. America don't got this bird. America don't got ostriches. They don't got it. Ostrich. I can't really pronounce that word. It's hard for my tongue. But America don't got that. But you out here talking about, oh, this gonna happen. This is America. This Babylon. I just named these animals and I just named the Arabs. All these animals is actually over there in Arabia. The real Babylon is actually next to Egypt. You're not reading this scripture in context. You're not reading your Bible in context. You're too busy trying to plug in some lie called spiritual. Liars. False prophets that don't understand the scripture's worth nothing. Well, all you could have done is just read the scripture in context. Even a 2-year-old can get this right just by reading it. Let me continue. And it says, the satyrs shall dance there. Come on now. And jackals shall howl in the councils. What councils do America got? And what jackals do America got? America don't got jackals. Boy. And wild dogs. We got wild dogs. We got wild dogs in the pleasant places. And her time is near to come. Who time is near to come? The destruction of Babylon, which already happened. And her days shall not be prolonged. You thought that was the end at verse 12? At chapter 12 of Isaiah? No, chapter 13 of Isaiah. Did you know the Most High continued the same story? Isaiah is one big scroll. There's no chapters, there's no verses. Chapter 14 was a continuation of the burden of Babylon, but foolish Israelites sitting up here deceiving y'all. Deceiving y'all. Now let's continue. Let's continue. And ain't no such thing as a mystery Babylon too. Always trying to apply some spiritual junk. This is Isaiah chapter 14, continuing from Isaiah chapter 13, still concerning the burden of Babylon. The burden of confusion. And it says, this is verse 1. For YAHUAH, it says, for YAHUAH will have compassion on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall join himself with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. That already happened after the fall of Babylon. And the peoples shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of YAHUAH for service and for handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. But they say, oh, that's the future. They read this passage and said, that's the future. I'm pretty sure you heard that passage from IUIC, ISUPK, GMS, GOCC. All one West Camps. I'm pretty sure you heard that. But I'm sitting up here reading everything in order, and it's really already stating that this is already going to happen. He said this is going to happen during the life of Isaiah, King Ahaz, King Hezekiah, Josiah, Babylon came down. This is the burden, man. What's really going on around here? Why they out here lying? And I was deceived by this. I'm sort of saying, oh, I'm going to have me a white slave, blah, 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 handmaids. But this already happened. I'll read that part again. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahuwah for service and for handmaids. And they shall take them captive, whose captives they were. They shall rule over their oppressor. If I go in the book of Kings, I can show you who was living in the land. Matter of fact, let me show you who the captives were. Let me go to the book of Kings and show you who the captives were that was already there. Who the Assyrians forced to live there. Okay, hold on. Let me show you. Where it's at, where it's at, where it's at. Here we go. This is 2 Kings chapter 17. Verse 24. No, actually, I'm going to start at verse 23. And it says, until Yahuwah removed Israel out of his sight, as he spoke by the hand of his servants, the prophets, so Israel was carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. And it says, and the king of Assyria brought men. Here we go. You want to know who the captives was? Who was already living in that land? And it says, this is verse 24. And it says, the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon and from Kathoth and from Hava and from Hamath and from Sepharvaim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. Gentiles living in the land while they went into captivity. That's who the captives and the captives they were, that Israel come back and possess. And over time, they was learning how to seek Yahuwah, and at the same time, they was keeping their idols. If you would have read this book of 2 Kings, you would have known that. But you too busy listening to YouTube and your camp idolatry people, following the crowd, and you're going to go right down there and to the pit along with them. Let me go ahead and continue. Who captives they were. Verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that Yahuwah shall give thee rest from thy troubles, from the hard service wherein thou hast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this parable against the king of Babylon and say, this is Israel. The Most High is telling Israel, take up this parable against the king of Babylon. Against the king of Babylon. Now, here go the part where all the camps always say, oh, we for to slay their daughters. We for to slay the sinners of their fathers. I'm going to go ahead and read. I'm going to tell you. Continuing. How hath the oppressor ceased? How did the oppressor stop? The extortions of gold stop. Yahuwah had broken the staff of the wicked, the scepter of the rulers. Who was the wicked? Babylon. That smote the people in wrath with incessant stroke, that ruled the nations in anger, with a persecution that none restrained. The whole earth is at rest. Why is they at rest? Why are they at rest? Because Babylon has fallen. The earth is at rest and is quiet. Yeah, the cypresses rejoice at you, and the cedars of Lebanon, since thou art laid down, the destruction of Babylon. No feller is come up against us. Check this out. The netherworld, which is Sheol, which is death, from beneath is moved for thee. Sheol opened up for Babylon. to meet thee at thou coming, to meet Babylon at their coming. Death is waiting for Babylon. These shades are stirred up for you, even all the chiefs of the earth. Now check this out. Now that was Israel making a parable to Babylon. Now here go the other Gentiles that that Babylon was ruling over. Pay attention. Listen close. All the kings of the nations are raised up from their thrones. All the kings of the nations standing up. They're standing up. Why they standing up? They seeing Babylon fall. Verse 10. And they do answer. Now, since they see them fall, since all the nations that seen Babylon fall, this is what the Gentiles say. I'm trying to break it down to people that can't understand. Verse 10 in Isaiah chapter 14. All they that do answer and say unto you, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou also become weak as thee? Art thou become like unto us? How did Babylon get weak? Thou pomp is brought down to the nether world, which is Sheol, which is death. And the noise of the psalteries and the maggot is spread under you, and the worm cover you. Basically saying they dead. They're decomposing. They're becoming destroyed. Now here go the part right here. This is still the nations talking. And they said, oh, this is Israel. No, this is the nations talking. How art thou fallen from heaven, O day star? In your KJV version, it might say, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? But it don't really say that. It says, O day star, son of the morning. How art thou cut down to the ground? Who is they comparing Lucifer to? Babylon. They ain't switched it up. The whole subject was about Babylon. How art thou fallen from the ground? I'll just replace Lucifer and say, how art thou fallen, O Babylon, son of the morning? How art thou fallen, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou fallen, O day star, son of the morning? So you can understand, who is it talking about? How art thou cut down to the ground? That didst cast lots over the nations. Babylon took over all the nations. And thou saidest in thy heart, I will ascend into the heaven, above the stars of God. Will I exalt my throne, and I will sit upon the mountain of meeting in the utmost parts of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Who said that? Babylon. Babylon. Babylon, the one that had their head up high. They proud, exalted so high, so haughty. They the ones saying they're going to be God. They're going to be your God. They took over the whole world and they brought their pride so high. Talking about it was the white man. Talking about it's Rome. Talking about it's America. No understanding. All because you didn't read the context of the scriptures. If you would have read 2 Kings, then Isaiah, you would have known who this was talking about. Let's continue. They that saw thee do narrowly look upon thee. They gaze earnestly at you. Is this the man that made the earth to tremble? Is this the man? Now they talking against Babylon like, how did we fall to Babylon? Look at them. They're so weak now. Is this the man that made the earth tremble? That didn't shake the kingdoms? That made the whole world as a wilderness? Is this the kingdom? This the kingdom y'all talking about? Look at them. They destroyed. Look at them. Look how they fallen. And destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. All the kings of the nations, all of them sleep in glory, everyone in his own house, but thou art cast forth away from the grave. Babylon don't get to go to the grave. Like a hated offshoot, and the remnant of the slain that are thrust through with the sword. We finna get into that good part that Israel loved bringing out. We almost there. That go down to the pavement of the pit. Still talking about the death of Babylon. As a carcass trodden under feet, no man buries them. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land. Thou hast slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall not be named forever. Now here go the part when they say, "Oh, prepare slaughter for their children. Prepare slaughter for their children." We talking about the white man. Prepare slaughter for their children. America, the white man, prepare slaughter. We're gonna hang your own wife. We're gonna hang your daughter. We're gonna do what you did to us. Said IUIC, said ISUPK, having no knowledge of scripture. But who's the one for the prepared slaughter? Was this Israel prepared slaughter or somebody else for Babylon? Check this out. Here go verse 21. The part I've been waiting on. Prepare ye slaughter for his children. Who? Lucifer of the morning. Who is Lucifer? Babylon. Who is preparing slaughter? Who is the Most High talking to? If I go back to verse 17 and chapter 3, it says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, who shall not regard silver, and also for gold they shall not delight in it. And their bows shall dash the young ones in pieces, and they shall have no pity for the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare the children, and Babylon and the glory of kingdoms and the beauty of the Chaldeans' pride shall be as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." They're the ones preparing slaughter for Babylon. The Medes, the Persians, not Israel. If you will have read chapter 13, you will have known that. Shalom, Sarat. You will have known that. But you foolishly getting led astray by foolish shepherds. They hate me. As you can see on my page, they hate me. Why they hate me? Because I bring stuff out like this. Because they didn't catch it. Because they're not studying to show they self-approved and seeking YAHUAH ALOHIM, the Most High of hosts, like they supposed to. You can't get mad at the understanding that the Most High gave to me. You can't get mad at that. I asked him. I prayed to him. I asked him to be my teacher. And he showed me. How dare you sit up and get mad? It's really just a beautiful lesson to cast down all imaginations. It's verse 21, chapter 14. Prepare slaughter for his children. Who doing the slaughter? I will bring it out again. Verse 17 and chapter 13. Behold, I will stir up the Medes, Persia. Let's continue. Prepare slaughter for his children, Babylon, for the iniquity of their fathers. The who fathers? For the iniquity of Babylon, that they raise not up and possess the earth. Destroy them before they possess the earth. The Most High declaring out to the Persians, to Medes, to the Mede Persia. He said, destroy Babylon before they possess the earth, and fill the face of the earth with cities, before they make themselves a big old nation, which y'all so call the Babylon system. Which y'all call the Babylon system. The Most High told Mede Persia to destroy them before they make the system, before they make the cities. Did they do it? Yes, they did. What Babylon system is you talking about? Liars. And I will raise up against them, saith YAHUAH of hosts, and cut off from Babylon, like I just told you, talking about some white man, talking about some sons of Japhet, talking about some Romans. He said, and I will cut off from Babylon name and the remnant and offspring. Babylon's offspring is no more. It ain't no Babylonians. The real Babylonians are no more. They don't cease anymore. They're not here. Saith YAHUAH of hosts. He just said he cut off their name and their offspring. They're not here. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water. He said Babylon is going to make he made Babylon as the pools of water. It's underwater. And I will sweep it with the bosom of destruction, said YAHUAH of hosts. Now, not only Babylon getting destroyed by the Medes Persia, but it's getting destroyed by a flood. Talking about some nuclear destruction. Verse 24, and YAHUAH of hosts has sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, as shall it come to pass, and as I have possessed, so shall it stand, that I will break Assyria in my land. Not only Babylon, but Syria got to get it too. And I can show you in Kings where Syria already had got their issue. That's right, Mariel. And it says, upon my mountain, tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them. Who yoke? During the time of Hezekiah, wasn't Assyria trying to take over Jerusalem? And the Most High wouldn't let it stand? Did that not happen? In 2 Kings, but if you would have read 2 Kings, you would have known that. This in a picking and choosing. Riding with insurgents when the Most High already gave you the answer within the chapter. Got a short attention span. You can't even read a whole chapter. You can't even read the next chapter. I commend those that read this and that read like they supposed to. This is very important. I never studied so hard like I ever did in my life. The more I study, the more intrigued I get into these scriptures. I changed a lot of mindsets. I changed a lot of stuff I believe today just by reading Isaiah. A lot of this stuff I already have it. Talking about some 7 wives gonna take hold of one man in the future. Boy, that already happened. It already happened. Talking about there's gonna be a future. No, you just some lustful folks. I can't even say the words I really want to say because it's all about character. But I'm going to continue, and it says, this is the purpose that is proposed upon the whole earth. Now, never mind, I'm going to go back. And it says that upon my mountains trod him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulder. That was talked about during the time of King Hezekiah. This is the purpose that is proposed upon the whole earth. And this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. For YAHUAH of hosts hath proposed and will disannul it. And his hand is stretched out. Who shall turn it back? Who gonna stop the Most High hand? Nobody. It already happened. Been destroyed. Over with. Verse 28 proves when it happened. Why did the Most High say this in the midst of the destruction of Babylon and in the destruction of Syria? Why did he say in verse 28, in the year that King Ahaz died was this burden? In the year of King Ahaz. But I thought it was America. I thought it was the future. He just gave you a timeline marker. He just said in the year that King Ahaz died was this burden. Talking about this is America. Talking about you finna get 7 wives. Talking about you finna go around killing some white folks and putting them in captivity. Liars. Liars. And the Most High just revealed this to me today. A lot of y'all like set apart, and Mariel, Tezekiah, y'all probably already knew this stuff, but I just now found out today. My mind and the veil been taken off my eyes even more today. The veil been taken off my eyes even more today. Even more today. This is what I'm talking about. This is really searching Yahuwah with all your heart, soul, and mind. This is what he's talking about. Listening to him. He give you the answers. What is there? There's no secret thing, man. What is wrong with you, Israel? Let me continue. I'm going to say the time marker again. In the year that King Ahaz died was this burden. Let me read verse 13, chapter 13, verse 1. And the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Let me go back to chapter 14 and chapter 14 of Isaiah, verse 28. In the year that King Ahaz died was this burden. Not year 2019, not year 2020. Man. Rejoice not, O Philistines. This is the continuation. The continuation. Rejoice not, O Philistines, all of you, because the rod that smote you is broken. He said, don't get happy. Because King Ahaz died. Because King Ahaz died, because your yoke has been lifted up. Don't rejoice, Philistines. Because the rod that smote you is broken. For out of the serpent's roots shall come forth the basilisk, and the fruit shall be a flying serpent. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed. Philistine is poor. The Philistines is poor. And the needy shall lie down in safety. And I will kill your root with famine. The Philistines is desolate to this day. And thy remnant shall be slain. The remnant of you. You was already a remnant. Now the Most High just said the rest of you finna be gone. Where's the Philistines? Is they still here on this earth? Just like Babylon, where's the children of the Babylonians? Where's the children of the Philistines? The Most High said, and thy remnant shall be slain. Howl, O gate, cry, O city, melt away, O Philistines, all of you. All of you. It ain't no Philistines. For there cometh a smoke out of the north, and there is no strangler in his ranks. What then shall one answer the messenger of the nations? That Yahuwah have founded Zion, and in her shall the afflicted of his people take refuge. Boy, boy, boy. Mario said, please read Jeremiah 23 and Isaiah 47. It will shut all that down. Man, I don't want to read that yet, man. You spoiling it for me. You spoiling it for me. You spoiling it for me, Mario. I can't read that. I don't want to read that yet. Let's just save it for another time, man. Let's just save it for another time, because it's already got good, man. It got good already. I knew Isaiah was calling me. In my heart, something kept saying, read Isaiah. I can't wait to get Isaiah, just like I can't wait to get Ezekiel. Ezekiel and Isaiah was the main books I've been waiting to get to, but I had to read everything in chronological order until I get to Isaiah, and now I see. I said, if I just read Isaiah, I can't wait to get to Ezekiel. There got to be something in Ezekiel that the Most High want me to see. And he let me see this. I have been corrected this day. I have been confounded this day. With the scriptures of Yah. Not by no man, but with the scriptures of Yah. Yeah, Mario, you can't. I don't want to spoil myself, man. I don't want to spoil it. I want to get there. I just want the Most High to teach me and show me so I could catch on, because we already had a conversation, and you said most of this stuff already happened. And now I see, based off that, I said, dang, that already happened. Then I seen the part when it said 7 women is gonna take hold of 1 man. I seen that already happen. I said, man, boy, Israel, y'all got another thing coming. Y'all some liars. You said this is for America, the Central, the Caribbean. Read. I can't read it yet, set apart. I can't do it. I don't want to go there yet. Even though I already read Jeremiah 30, but I'm seeing it in chronological order. I don't want to spoil it because I might miss something. I might miss something in between. I ain't gonna catch on. But everything I've seen so far, I caught on in the parables of what's going on. I'm like, man, I'm amazed. This stuff made me want to tear up. I was like, I just cast down another lie from my mind, from my heart today, that I was holding on to, and now I see, tearing down all imaginations. The real milk in the morning, the real milk in the evening. That's what it is. But that's what I wanted to bring out. I hope this be a lesson to you people. Quit listening to people, denounce everything you believe, and start back over and read those scriptures in context. I'm so serious. Throw out everything you believe, keep Yah in your heart, and read everything in context, and get a build a new understanding. Because I guarantee you're gonna build a new understanding. You're gonna build a new understanding. I didn't even know most of Isaiah already happened. I didn't even know that. But I see it today, and I felt as I was reading this, I felt like a fool. I felt like a fool. I felt like a fool. And I apologize, Israel. I apologize for sitting up there in the past speaking all these lies. I was taught a lie. I didn't know. I didn't know. Even to the Gentiles, I gotta apologize for that, because I didn't know. I didn't know. And now the Most High had cleared the confusion up for me, and now I said, man, there's no telling. I don't want to go out and speak on something else I don't got full evidence on. Because if it comes down to a debate or something, oh, it's over with. Let me hear something about some Babylon or some mystery Babylon. Let me hear it. Let me hear about you getting some multiple wives and all this other mess. About bringing up that 7 years. 7 women taking hold of 1 man. Let me hear that mess. I dare you to bring that mess up to me. Today I already see, man, I ain't tolerating nothing. I don't got time anymore. I don't got time anymore. I'm only for those that want to listen, man. I don't have time. It ain't no games no more. This ain't no games. And I'm seeing all these lies. All these lies that took place. All the lies that took place, and I'm casting them all down. From my heart and my spirit, and I seen it. Cast it all down. I said, the house of Israel is in so much lies. It don't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. So much vanity. So many empty sayings. Well, I'm glad I don't have to share my hubby with 6 other women. Yeah, I'm glad you don't. Cause this don't make no sense, man. I wouldn't want 6 other women no ways. Yeah, Mario said them women was wicked. Them women was wicked. I'm at to look into it more. Women, stop being deceived by these men. Listen. Let me see what y'all say in the comment section. You should not feel like a fool. It's like a way. It's a walk. We all on one. Stay teachable. We are nothing without y'all. Exactly. Hold on. All right, Mario. Man, this mucus, man. Exactly, but I gotta stay humble in myself, man.
Shalom, Rock.
Hey, Shalom, don't spoil nothing.
Man, I'm not. No, we're gonna stick with this, cause like, bruh, Isaiah 4:1. I don't know why, but I don't know why they go to Isaiah 4:1 and be like, if you read Isaiah 4 I mean, if you read Isaiah 3, you see how wicked these women are. These women are
Yeah, I
wicked
seen that.
women.
Hey, I seen that
Like,
when it said that the actually when I looked at that, when it said that the babies was gonna rule over it, there was babies ruling over Israel. I seen there was young
exactly.
kings. Then we had two women ruling over Israel. We seen all that mess. I seen it all. Yeah, they was wicked. Them women was wicked.
The women was wicked. If a man comes to you and be like, oh yeah, Isaiah 4:1, Isaiah, he is literally calling you wicked and saying that you got to be with them. I get so heated with that, man. And the reason why those women are attached to those men is because exactly what it says in Numbers 30. If you understand what the law, they understood what the law was in Numbers 30, that that a man can kind of somewhat cover your sins or take away your sins in a somewhat of a fashion where, like, if you say something and you make a vow, he can remove it. If you do something,
Like, let me
or
let for the people. Let me read it though. I want to start at
mm-hmm.
Isaiah chapter 3, and like I told y'all already, it's a continuation of a scroll, and I see it's a continuation of a scroll. I want to start at Isaiah chapter 3. I'm gonna read through verse I'm gonna start at verse 8, and I'm gonna read all the way down to the next chapter, so they can see. You cool with that? So here we go. And it says, the show of their countenance do witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom, and they hide it not. Which y'all do today. You do
Mm-hmm.
declare your sin as Sodom. But we talk about them back then though. But it says, woe unto their soul, for they have wrought evil unto themselves. Say ye of the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. You're gonna basically you reap what you sow in a way. But it says, woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with them, for the work of his hands shall be done to him. Here we go. As for my people, a baby is their master. That happened. And women rule over them. That happened. 2 Kings. Did that happen in 1 Kings too? I think it did. And it says, "Oh my people, they that lead you cause you to err and destroy the way of the paths. Yahuwah standeth up to plead and standeth to judge the peoples, and Yahuwah will enter the judgment with the elders of his people and princes thereof." And it says, it is you that have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of the poor, and the spoil of the poor is in your houses. What men ye that you crush my people and grind the face of the poor, said Yahuwah of hosts. Now here go the curse. Here go the curse. This is what the Most High going to curse Israel with, since they did that. Moreover, said Yahuwah. He said what?
I said, read.
It says, moreover, said Yahuwah, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanting eyes, walking with menacing as they go and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore, Yahuwah will smite you with scab and the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. And Yahuwah will lay bare their secret parts. And that day, Yahuwah will take away the bravery of their anklets and the fullets of their cresses and pendants and the bracelets and the vows and the head tires and the armlets and the slashes and the corselets and the armlets and the rings and the nose jewels and the aprons and the mantles and the cloaks and the girdles and the gauze robes and the fine linen and the tebrins and the mantles. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet spices, there shall be rottenness. And instead of girdle rags, instead of curled hair, baldness. Instead of stomatures, girding and sackcloth. Branding instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall limit and mourn, and utterly be fret. She shall sit upon the ground. Now check this out. Remember, I already told y'all. Y'all just heard the curses, right? Chapter 4 tried to cut that off. The curses still continue in chapter 4, starting at verse 1. Remember, these are wicked women, and the Most High just cursed them, and he just said their men just got killed. Right? So let's continue.
There you go.
Now, here we go. It says, and 7 women shall take hold of one man in that day, the same day that he took all this stuff away. We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by the name, by your name. Take thou away our reproach, their judgment, or whatever. And it says, in that day, the growth of YAHUAH be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the land excellently and comely. For them that are escaped of Israel. Talk about them that's returning. But you see right there, that was a continuation. Those women, them 7 women, they was cursed. They was cursed. They got punished.
Exactly.
What else you got to say? Yeah. What you got to say, Marvin?
No, I was gonna say that, and that's exactly correct. You have now you only have that remnant that's actually is righteous. So this is like Amber Rose, Cardi B. This is like them kind of women coming up to you saying, I want to be called by your name. Notice that they said they can buy their own food, which is something that a husband is supposed to do. They can provide their own clothes. That's something that a husband's supposed to do, right? So where are these women getting their money from if they are single? Where are they getting their money from? They're doing wicked stuff. They're doing wicked stuff.
That's how they take a hold of one man. Like, different men sleeping with this. I mean, different women sleeping with the same woman. They going to the next one. That's all they doing.
Prostitution. That's exactly what they was doing. They was prostituting themselves, and they was getting money off of it.
You're paying.
And they were saying, and that's why I was saying in Numbers 30, if you're attached to a husband and he's attached to the Most High, he has the ability because you're a part of his household now. So that's what he said. That's why I said, let me be called by your name, and take away my reproach.
Right.
Because now they're attached. Because now they could be attached by them, and they won't get the Most High's wrath. They won't catch the Most High's wrath. But no, I don't want no wicked woman. Don't come to my daughter talking stuff. Oh yeah, you could be the 6th wife or something like that because Isaiah 4:1 says that 7 women are going to be. No. They
ain't read. They didn't read the text. They ain't read, man. That's the problem. That's Israel's biggest downfall. They not reading this stuff in chronological order. I believe they don't got a good attention span, man.
Nah.
I really don't believe because the more I'm reading now, bro, I read about 6 or 7 chapters already. Still going on. I'm taking me a break today because I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it.
I want you to read Jeremiah and Isaiah so bad. Because you're going to be like, yeah, especially like Jeremiah 23. You're going to be like, what? It's like Jeremiah goes in on Babylon. When I'm saying he goes in on Babylon, he talks about the whole destruction, everybody else who's going to get destroyed.
So Jeremiah 23 is a precept to Isaiah 13 through 14.
Pretty much. And Jeremiah covers what Ezekiel was talking about. Remember Ezekiel and Jeremiah prophesied at the exact same time.
So they was living at the same time.
They was
Zechariah
living at the
same time too. Yep.
Zechariah was too. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I seen that.
Habakkuk is living in that time period. Who else? I want to say Micah. I think he was living at that time. I'm not sure, but I definitely know Ezekiel. Ezekiel, Jeremiah, and Habakkuk was living all at the same time. They all saw the exact same thing.
Now check this out. The same thing in 13. When he said, neither shall the Arabian pitch their tent there. Why would the Arabians pitch their tent in America when they so far away? And another thing,
Exactly.
if you pay attention to the numbers of animals that it mentioned, we got wild dogs, but we don't got jackals. We don't got ostriches. We don't got wild cats like that over here. So what are they talking about? How's this Babylon? Just based off these animals.
This is America. This is not Babylon. Babylon is in Iraq destroyed. This is America. This is a whole nother place. Right. This is why I was saying, like, yeah, that book is done. That book
talking about some spiritual mess, man. I'm telling you, that spiritual doctrine, they need to cut that off. They need to cut off that spiritual doctrine.
Everything is spiritual. Everything. Like, oh, we gotta save our souls. Spiritual. Oh, we gotta do a sin offering. Spiritual. Oh, he is anointed. Spiritual. Babylon. Spiritual. Spiritual Egypt. No, Egypt is in Egypt.
What really put the nail in the coffin to me once I seen the Most High said, who his mighty ones is, then he turned around and said Medes, Persia, and he sent them to destroy Babylon. And he told, and I look back to it, and he said he was telling Persia to prepare slaughter. And I know that IUIC and all them kept saying that on the street corner, prepare slaughter for their children, taking strict, saying it on the corner to these white folks, taking it out of context, making a mockery out of Yah before the people. Literally. Turning people away like that.
How was Babylon destroyed? How did Persia take over Babylon?
I ain't read that yet.
It's historical. It's not even in there. It's historical. They flooded the Euphrates River. They literally flooded.
It just said that was gonna send Persia, and also they was gonna destroy it. Oh, here it is right here. And it says, and I will raise up against them, saith Yahuwah host, and cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant, and offshoot and offspring, saith Yahuwah. And it says, I will make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water. That's the flood.
They flooded the Euphrates River that cut straight through Babylon, and then they was able to go straight into Babylon under the little gates that the Euphrates River used to travel under. They flooded it, they stopped it up, and they flooded it.
He said none of them no more. None of them don't remain. So they genocide. Gotta be genocide.
Wait till you finish. Wait till you finish Isaiah. Wait till you finish Isaiah.
Genocide, man. That's like, and I seen the Philistines got genocide too. What it looks like.
Wait till you get to Jeremiah 23. Yep. I'm telling you, wait till you get to Jeremiah 23, 50, 51, 52. Jeremiah goes in on a 30. Man, yeah. I have no idea. why they're talking about this place is spiritual Babylon. It has nothing even to do with Babylon. It literally has nothing to do with Babylon. There's no connection to Babylon. They say, oh, well, they have the same Babylonian gods. No, they don't. Oh, it's Babylonian, they took slaves. No, Babylon didn't take slaves. We were just living in Babylon because we had our own like session in Babylon. So Babylon didn't allow us to go back into the land because they actually scattered us. But America has slavery. Babylon didn't. Right. They literally did. You go study the history of Babylon. No, they didn't have slaves. They had just people. Babylon was just a place of gathering. So it was our captivity.
I was going to hit you up about this us in the beginning. I might as well just bring it out to you. So I read in Isaiah chapter 6. I think I told you to go read it. And I came across verse 8. And it says, even though this is a vision, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, and I heard the voice of Yahuwah saying, whom shall I send? And who will go for us? And I read before that it was the Sepharim that was above him and all the other stuff, and they was all talking with Yah. And I figure, I said, what if that was the us in the beginning?
I gotta go read that. You know, I still kind of under the whole. I still got to study into it though about the us thing, because
You talk
us is
about
definitely an
like
interesting
when
concept.
the Queen said, "We are not amused," and using it as a
Yeah, I still kind of like a
yeah,
moral I mean, what is it called? Majestic plurality.
yeah, basically like his kingdom, saying like he's speaking for his whole kingdom.
But the queen or the supreme ruler can also speak for, because you do have people underneath her, so she could speak for other people underneath her as well by saying we. So she's including like the whole royal court in that
So
sense.
is it possible to say that it could have been Sephraim, the ones with the 6 wings or whatever? They keep
Uh,
saying holy. They keep saying holy,
well,
holy,
well,
holy.
well, the Sepharim in Hebrew actually is just it means books or
Oh,
scribes. Yeah, it could mean books or scribes or whatsoever. So it could just be speaking of like the writings, the prophets, um,
it
several
could have been because the
it's several
Sepharim.
things that I can.
It said in this vision that the Sepharim got up and they got these tongues and they put it on the dude. Isaiah said that he can't talk or something like that, like he defiled or
Mm-hmm.
something. And they put like a little thing on him. And I also thought about like, what if this the place that all the prophets go in a vision or something to Yah?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like Isaiah was seeing a vision. So
Yeah, that's why I say it's a vision.
it could have just been remember, he was in the temple as well. Remember, Isaiah was in the
Yeah.
temple as well. So just by him reading it, then he had a
Yeah, you
vision
know what?
of like an embodiment.
You know what? You may be right, because if he was just having a vision about the temple, and he said he seen the Most High sitting on his throne, he said he seen 2 Sepharim, then that means he could have just been vision the Ark of the Covenant, and y'all
Mm-hmm.
just sitting in the midst of that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You
But
know,
because we can have
it's quite
dreams that
possible.
have that could be interpreted or whatsoever. Like we can receive like an understanding, but then it's placed into a embodiment of something in our visions or in our dreams or whatsoever. So he could have been having a dream where like it kind of symbolized like him reading it and actually uh, changing his ways, or is changing his life, or is changing his speech, or whatsoever. He just received understanding by seeing like an embodiment of the scrolls that's becoming a Sepharim, or what we call a Sepharim, and it touching his lips and stuff like that while he's in the temple or whatsoever. So,
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
could be a form.
it's many things. Yeah, it's many things
Yeah,
that
it could be
could.
a form of him correcting his tongue and
Mm,
correcting his way, his speech, when it touches
mm,
his mouth. But you see right here, there's something else in Isaiah chapter 6 that made me that stood out. It's the same thing. It says, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then I said, here am I, send me. Then I said, no, then he said, go and tell this people, which is Israel, hear ye indeed, but understand not. He said, hear ye indeed. You hear, but you
mm-hmm,
understand not. And you see, but you perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, which means stubborn. Make their ears heavy, which means deaf, and shut their eyes, which means blind. Least they seeing with their eyes and hearing with their ears and understand with their heart. Return and be healed. I see that the Most High, he's the one. Hold on, hold up. Make sure. Let me make sure. Yeah, let me read the rest of it. And it says, then I said, here, how long? And he answered, until cities be waste without inhabitants, and the houses without man, which already happened, and the land become utterly waste. And Yahuwah have removed men far away and forsaken places by many in the midst of the land. And if there be yet a tenth, okay, they don't have to read that part. For what I see, the Most High, he can actually put a stumbling block before you and deceive you himself.
Separated, exactly. He's separating that remnant.
Just to make you don't cry out to him so you get that punishment. I seen that and I said, that proves right here, y'all can make you believe idols. That proves it right there when I read that.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Man, it's like understanding is increasing, man.
Yeah, he was separating that remnant. Because he only needs a remnant. He only needs a remnant. And he'll start over Israel.
Right. That's crazy.
No, that's absolutely facts. Like, I mean, that's Deuteronomy 13. He's sending a test unto you. And then some hearts he'll close. Like he made Pharaoh's heart harden. He hardened Pharaoh's heart, so he won't leave.
Israel act like they can't get deceived, man. They act like nobody can deceive them. And they think this walk is so easy, man. When I first got in this truth, well, not saying that. When I first started seeking out, I used to think this stuff was so easy. Like it was just that simple. Then now I see after reading, I said, this stuff is not easy. It's not. This thing is far from easy. Talk about all you got to do is put away the idols and stuff like that. No, it's not that simple. You got to cast down all imaginations, Nick.
It's layers upon layers upon layers upon layers. And then, like, the only thing is that when you first get to it, you're not even seeing the iceberg, let alone hitting it. You're not even seeing it. Like, it's like a thick layer, just like the more you pulling back or whatsoever. And as you wait, and then you go back, and then like this is your first time kind of reading it. I read it 3 times, and then I'm on my 4th time right now, and I'm still getting stuff. Like I'm like, oh, I didn't even see that last time. I didn't even see this last time. And every time I read it, every time, no matter how like what angle you read it from, like whether it's from like cover to cover, whether it's from like chronological order. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Like that's why he said, you know, it's a living word. It's literally a living. It's literally living because it's like it doesn't die. Like every time you get it.
At a point in time, certain appointed times, he ready for you to learn a certain thing. You probably gotta go understand something before you come back to it. Because I already know once I finish, I'm gonna have to go right back over and read the scriptures all over again.
All over again.
I mean, but technically, we are already doing it with the Tanakh only classes. I'm already catching a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they're catching a lot of stuff, and then especially when you start learning Hebrew. Oh, don't learn Hebrew and then read it again. Oh, like that's a whole new world.
Right.
I mean, I'm looking at pieces and stuff like that. I know pieces of Hebrew, and it's a whole nother world. Like it's like, dang, I didn't even see that. And you think you don't believe in that idol now?
Right. It's a lot more. A lot more out there. Do my hand favor right now.
Well, I got to hop off though, man. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of come in and touch upon to that. Man, I just say like, man, that's definitely a good, powerful lesson. I'm glad it seemed like everybody getting edified with it too. But man, like I really, cause like Isaiah is really my favorite book to read. I can read Isaiah over and over and over again. Man, it's literally like my favorite book. And every time I hear somebody reading it, I get excited about it. Because not only is it speaking of like my favorite person in history, well, my favorite Israelite king, Hezekiah, it's speaking about my favorite person in history, Cyrus. You know, I'm like, you know, so it's literally my favorite book.
Right. Yeah, I can't wait to finish it up.
I get excited when somebody says, oh, I'm reading the book of Isaiah.
Right. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live feed. I'm glad y'all got some understanding today too. And if y'all ain't catch everything, just rewind this whole video over and just watch it. All right. All right. Shalom.
All right, shalom. I'll hit you up later.
All right.